Now let's go to our third stop on our tour of the front lines, Dow Chemical. And it's fair to say if you've got 25% of Richard's costs from energy, I bet you it's even more for Andrew Liveris' business. He is the CEO of Dow Chemical. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it, Andrew.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right,
nice
so
to
what's
be
your
with you.
equivalent number? Am I right? He pays 25% of his costs are energy. What is it for you?
50%, Aaron, 50%.
Oh, you beat him. I had a feeling you might. 50%. All right, so for you, the question is then, obviously for Richard, he's saying, well, energy prices are going up, and so are copper prices, so I'm able to balance my business. Are you able to pass the energy prices along?
Well, we got the two economies that we're all talking about outside of the United States and inside the United States. To the extent that the rest of the world or, China-led demand, as was just talked about, is allowing us, to pass on price, we can do it. But inside the United States with a weak economy, we can't catch up. And frankly, this recent surge that's going on, and as you know, I use oil-derived products like naphtha and others to add value to them. Naphtha is surging. The natural gas liquids are surging as well. So frankly, this is getting to a real interesting point in the U.S. economy where the input costs are surging ahead of our ability to pass on prices.
So what's your biggest concern right now? I guess let's start off with this question. How much of your business comes from the United States?
Well, that's the good news. We've got a diversified company. We're actually the third most global company in America with 66% of our revenues outside of the United States. So that gives us a physical hedge. That's why we had a good first quarter, and that's why we're working like hard to keep diversifying. Frankly, the lack of an energy policy in this country is so dysfunctional. Really, we just have not developed a top-down energy policy that makes sense. I've had energy offshoring in our strategy now for some time. I'm building plants where I can get access to resources such as the Middle East. I'm putting jobs over there, mostly because I've got demand in Asia and I've got access to resources in the Middle East. And they've got energy policies that actually welcome my value add. I can't get it done here in the United States.
So what would need to change here for that to be different?
Well, for example, we've got to get rid of all this bipartisan stuff. I mean, Congress has got to work, and both sides of the House have to come to the table. We need an energy policy that makes sense, that comes down for the American people to stop having this dependency on foreign oil and foreign anything, to be honest. I mean, we've got the resources, and both sides of the House have a point. I mean, the Republicans want more drilling. We need that. On the Democrat side, we need renewables and we need climate change legislation. But energy policy and climate change is inextricably linked, and you can't just look at pieces of this. If France can lead us on nuclear, if in general Europe can lead us on conservation and efficiency, if China can lead on clean coal and putting in place the right technologies on polygeneration, certainly the United States can bring all those together. But it needs both sides to come to the table and bring this together as one policy. And we haven't seen that now for over a decade.
Look, it's a fascinating point, and let me ask you how you grow from here, Andrew. I know you've talked vocally over time about acquisitions. Many have talked about DuPont as a company you might look at. Is that the way you're going to go?
Well, certainly I'm not commenting on acquisitions, Aaron, and so I'll disappoint you there. I will comment on deployment of funds. We have excess cash. We have a strong balance sheet in a weakening economy. We've earned the right to grow. We are growing overseas, as I just mentioned. We've done 20 acquisitions in the last 3 years, all small. We are doing stock buyback. And when the joint venture that we announced with the Kuwaitis closes in the latter part of this year, we will have a lot more excess cash. And frankly, where we're going is we're investing in ourselves through share buyback. And if the right acquisitions come along, they'll have to fit strict discipline criteria, which is really what I've been saying now for 3 years.
That is true. And Andrew, we appreciate your taking the time to join us today. I think some fascinating points there. 66% of his business outside the U.S. and when he talks about leadership on the energy front, the fact that none of it, from his perspective, comes from the U.S., certainly not the sort of testament anyone here wants to hear from.